Hello there, and today we're going to talk about the disruptive style, everything but the kitchen sink. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen that show, House, right? But it's about this crazy doctor, and there's one thing he commonly does, right? There's some mysterious illness, and then nobody can figure out what it is. And so he has this team of doctors, and they all put their heads together. And then House comes in, and he's like, put him on 12 different medicines. And then his staff says, but that's gonna kill him. And then he's like, yeah, and then we're gonna figure out what's not killing him. So we'll eliminate the things that are killing him the fastest, and then we'll take those away. And then when we're left with the thing that's not killing him, then that's the solution. And it's pretty predictable show. And then the guy's gonna have some kind of fit, or he's gonna make somebody angry. So anyway, funny story, funny show. But being a disruptive player can be like that. So some of the classic disruptive players are Nadal, Chang, Fabrice Santoro, Peng Shui. Where is Peng Shui? Has she been playing? I haven't heard her name on tour, right? So anyway, but there are these outlier players, and they can be top 100 players. I mean, Chang got to number 2 in the world. Fabrice Santoro made millions of dollars hanging out in the top 50 a lot. He was in the top 50 often. And, the French Tennis Federation was not a fan of his. So it was funny for him to be at the French and make it to the quarterfinals and sort of thumbing his nose at them because they didn't accept his style of play. This is one of those things. People, the purists, those really focused solely on stroke technique, really hate this style of player. They give them funny nicknames, like even I do. I mean, it's funny when playing against these people. I go, "Oh, look, it's a slicer dicer. Putting your game in the Vegematic. It's Ginsu knives." So I have all sorts of nicknames for people that play this way, but it's a very effective way to play. And I would say that this is my C game. If things, if my A game's not quite going right and my B game doesn't match up very well with somebody, then I'll go into disrupting them. I think the greatest example of disruptive play is Rafael Nadal. And how does he do that? See, I think you have to see him live to really see this. But next time you watch Rafa play, you'll notice how much he varies his spins, right? And he flattens out more balls now, and he slices some. So he's mixing things up a lot, and he's keeping people off balance and out of their strike zone. So what Chang used to do, Chang would sort of probe. He would hit different kinds of shots, and then he would get hurt by some, and he's like, all right, I'm not going to hit that one anymore. And he would find out what's the shot or the shot combinations that make my opponent most uncomfortable. And then he would run around a lot, but it was more about taking away his opponent's offense than creating his own. So quick story. One time I was playing I had a USTA league match, but then I had to go to a tournament later, so I didn't want to use up too much energy in my league match. So, but I was playing my regular game, and I played an hour and 15-minute tie-break set against this guy who had really nice passing shots. And so I lost an hour and 15-minute set. This was the opposite of what I wanted to do that day. So anyway, so I was like, I mean, I can't really play 3 hours and 45 minutes in this match and then go and play a tournament. That's not going to work very well. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I decided to switch to the power game. I decided to try to overpower serving and volleying and coming in all the time. Well, in about 5 minutes, I was down 3-love. 2 breaks of serve. And I was like, okay, this is not working. So then I started slicing him a lot. I just slicing and changing the pace of the slice. And he started spraying balls all over the place. So within a few minutes, it was 4-all. And then I won that set in a tiebreaker. Um, but the effort level was less because slicing is way easier than topspin. Topspin creates the need for a lot more energy to be consumed. So slicing, you just take the energy off the ball, and it's easy motion. Very, very good conservation of energy. So after a little while though, the guy started timing my spins. So what I started to do is like every third ball, I would hit a flat ball or a heavy top spin ball. So I'd be slice, slice, flat, slice, slice, top spin. And then he would start making more mistakes again. Ended up winning that. It was 6-3 in the third, but I was 2 breaks up. So I went from, and then I had enough energy to go play my tournament. So anyway, that's one example. Another one was a kid who I was coaching who was like ranked in the top 70 of NorCal, but he was going to go play number 12. And the number 12 player seemingly was better in every way than my player. So he used the everything but the kitchen sink strategy. He threw this guy off, and he also selectively came to the net at times. And oh man, that kid was so frustrated. But it took a little time to wear this guy down. So, my kid was executing the strategy pretty well, but lost the first set 6-3. But then as the match went on, he started to get the kid, more and more frustrated that he couldn't hit as cleanly as he wanted to. And then my kid won the second set. But then a funny thing happened. They're about midway through the third set. My kid's already up a break, but what does he do? He decides for 2 games to hit with the kid. He went away from the game plan for 2 games, and those games were over really fast. And so what ended up? So then now he's back on serve, and I'm like, so on the changeover, I'm like, get right back to that everything but the kitchen sink thing. So the way it works is you try out everything and you find out what your opponent hates the most. Some people love high balls. Some people hate them. Some people love low balls. Some people hate them. Some people are good at both places, but they're not very good at a ball right in at their midsection for whatever reason. I don't get it always. I don't understand why people have these preferences. So in the warm up, what you want to do is you want to probe this way. You want to hit some, heavy top spin up high to the backhand. You want to hit slice low to the forehand. You want to try, driving the ball a little bit and going high, go higher and lower, faster and slower. Because some people really hate no pace because they have all that time and they don't time their shot as well on slower balls. So the faster balls, they don't have to think so much. They don't have to read so much. The funny thing is hitting slower actually gives you more of a wider variability of speed. So that's an interesting thought. And then you can go more topspin, less topspin drive, and then just a tiny bit of topspin. And you vary that a little bit. You can really throw people off, throw in some slices, slice with a nice little float that bounces up, right? And then knife it a little bit more, get it to skid, throw in the lob, a drop shot with underspin. That also works. You can throw some side spins in there. Throw a little side spin in there, make the ball curve a little bit, make them move a little bit more than they want to. They're used to just lining it up, but then when it keeps going that way and they have to keep taking a couple more steps, that takes them out of their comfort zone. So you go higher, lower, faster, slower, more spin, less spin, right? Top spin, slice, side spin, right? And what else is there? This way and that way, right? Deep, short, short, deep, forehand, backhand, and just, get them moving in every direction and hitting all sorts of different kinds of balls. And then what you'll start to detect is if I hit the ball here first and then there first a certain kind of way, that's they look like they blew up. So when you find that thing where where their game implodes, then you file that away, and you get to an important point. Then you want to try to make that combination again. So from all of these things that happen, if you take note of, say, 3 or 5 combinations of shots that really bother them, because one thing, like here's an example: a heavy topspin ball to the backhand followed by a short slice to the forehand. Because here they're going to be backing up, falling backwards, and reaching way up. And then they have to get the momentum going. They have to go forward to pick up a ball in front of them. They're going to miss a lot of those. Or, to the other side, go high, deep to the forehand, and then short slice to the backhand. Hitting a slice ball, and then a lot of times they're going to hit short when you hit a slice ball. So you hit them a slice, they hit short, and then that's when you come with you take the ball on the rise. Nope, don't say that. You take the ball as close to the bounce as you can safely and hit the ball right at them. So they're going down for a slice to return it, and then they're having a hard time, getting up, and you hit the ball firmly right at them. That can blow them up. That's another example. You hit a couple of medium pace shots, and then all of a sudden you hit it a little harder, and then they're surprised by the speed. Sometimes if you hit the ball firmly once and then softer the second time, they don't necessarily account for the difference in the speed, and they'll hit short to you on the second one. And then you can do whatever you want. That's a good time to come with the drop shot, right? Or a short angle shot. So one of the things that you're going to do is by changing the pace, you can induce them to hit a short ball to you, which opens up your options for even more variety for what you're doing. I would say a general rule is wait until you're shorter in the court in order to hit shorter angles on their side. Wait until you're standing inside the court before you make those angles. And, obviously you're going to need to be able to have these different shots. I mean, you have to be able to vary your topspin. You have to be able to vary your slice. But even as a beginner, if you don't even really have much control over it, if you can topspin and you can slice and you can side spin and you can hit more flat, just basically that can really make a difference on people at your level. The higher levels you go, the more higher quality of shot you're going to need. So I want to hear your questions and comments. I love, it's not my favorite thing to do to play this way, but if it means winning the match instead of losing it, I will do it, and I will take. In fact, here's the final word on that match where I beat that guy in 3 sets. He wouldn't shake my hand after the match. That's happened like 3 or 4 times in my life. Someone would not shake my hand, and he said, "Play like a man." I'm like, no, I'd like to play better than a man. I want to play better than a man. I'd rather win up here than have you esteem me more highly. I just went W. So fine, don't shake my hand. I'll shake my own hand. My teammates will shake my hand. I don't need you. All right. So I hope you like this. I am on my way to teaching lots of lessons. Oh, a couple of notes, little news and notes. One, I'm going to be going to the UK in August. So if you happen to be in the UK and you want to meet up, it's It's a possibility. So I'll be there somewhere between the dates of August 6th and August 22nd. I will be in country after the 6th or after, and leaving by the 22nd. And if you're watching my YouTube, one thing you'll notice on my YouTube is that I'm showing swing vision videos. So maybe I will probably start sharing theirs on different social media outlets as well. But those swing vision videos show you the output of what happens when you take a lesson with me, and I put the camera up and then have it analyzed by swing vision, and then you get a heat map of where your shots went, and you can search by type of shot. What were you hitting? What were the shots that you made? What were the shots that you missed? You can see crudely what is the speed of shot, although I feel like the miles per hour are not 100% accurate, but it does give you units. So if you have a unit, I think the units are accurate, so you can compare shot to shot. Was that ball faster than that ball? So you can start to see, did I improve my speed? Right. So I mean, when you see a shot's 41 miles an hour, but you really it was more than that. But if the other one was 36, then you hit it 5 more miles an hour faster. So anyway, check out Swing Vision. In my YouTube, in the notes, you'll see an affiliate link that you can go to, and I think Swing Vision, I think, is one thing that will change the way tennis is taught if you let it. If you let it. Will you be one of those people who's an early adopter of better technology? Because right now, I'm an early adopter and you're just a little behind me. Ha ha. All right. So if you like this, spend your social digital currency, press like, subscribe, and do that. And tip your wait staff. I'm here all week. Have another beverage and tip the staff well, because it's hard times, people. It's hard times. Gas is through the roof, and people really need your generosity. And the more you put your generosity out there, the more it's going to come back on you. Trust me. All right? Because look what I'm doing. I am just generously giving you 20 minutes of my time. Right? You see it? You feel it? All right. So have a great day. Show lots of gratitude to everybody in real ways. Show them the money. Anyway. So, and then final word before I go is that the Tennis Strategy 101 book is going to be available on pre-order starting the 22nd, and then you can pre-order starting the 22nd, and then the books will all be delivered on the 26th, because that's when it goes live. And I'm trying to get that book to number one, and I think it's possible it could get to number one. So it's going to be an ebook at first, and then it will be a print book later. But anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.